Oh boy, it's here. The 8th studio album from Linkin Park since One More Light in 2017, and their first album after the heartbreaking and tragic passing of their lead singer Chester Bennington. Now featured on vocals is Emily Armstrong from the band drtshow. Colin Britton. There's a lot of new rolling around like a revolver, but fromzero is a complete return to fashion for the band. Speaking of new, I don't usually have folks join me on my album diagnoses, but today I'm here with Kara, a longtime friend and even longer time listener and fan of Linkin Park. He's gonna help me out with this one. Hello, Kara.
It's a double entente of a metaphor because Zero, Xero, was their original band name before they settled with Hybrid Theory, but then they're like, you know what, better make Hybrid Theory the name of our debut album. Now, they're obviously referring to how their roots originally is where they want to go back to, since they don't want to change the legacy Chester has made on this band. They want to start a new volume, a new chapter, but part of which is also recognizing their authentic signature sound. But with Emily, Colin, and Alex in the picture, I think Alex, the guitarist, is just a touring member for now, but Colin and Emily are indefinitely permanent.
Yeah, is it Colin Brittain, though, or is it Colin Britton? I want to know. The people want to know.
Honestly, considering Americans, Britain.
Yeah. It's not Brittain. I don't know. There's two T's.
Listen, bro. Tomato, tomato. You can settle with whatever you want to say. I'm fine with Britain. Let's just go with that.
Right. Colin Britton.
But yeah, that's another thing. I'm glad that we're not just letting Emily take the limelight here because Colin is a very rudimental member. He's been doing sessions with Linkin Park for years as a drummer. So it only became natural when Rob Borden, the original drummer, was slowly easing himself out after Chester's death. I'm not sure if he felt comfortable wanting to continue things after Chester's passing. It hit everybody hard. There was a lot of people who were taken aback that they could even replace Chester, but she said herself, I can never fill shoes like that. Not her, not Derek Whibley of Sum 41, who was also under suspicion, or Amy Lee from Evanescence. All those got debunked, obviously, even though the timing did align that, Derek's like, yeah, we're coming to a close with the Sum 41 tour in January, but hey, I got a book to release. I got lawsuits to fight against Greg Norrie. We Canadians know this better than anybody else. Coming in the picture, we knew that we had to take things for face value and give her the benefit of the doubt that the bandmates saw something in her. And I can honestly say, even though there was a few tracks that I was displeased with her covering live in their highly marketed pop-up about 2 months ago when they did the 100-hour countdown to just say, hey, anybody around California, we're doing a pop-up here in LA. People showed up on very short notice, limited tickets, and we got to hear her firsthand. I was highly critical of her, but for the most part, she did the song's justice. And my final impressions to say that, everything I think most of us felt about in the beginning with the skepticism, she's, for the most part, put it off the bed with ease. I feel very comfortable with her. She's like the male version of Chester in some ways. There's just some aspects of Chester you just cannot replicate with multifaceted voices all done in one, scream that he's able to do that. Just some songs you just cannot, Crawling in particular. I wasn't really a fan of her singing Crawling. It's so hard. It's really difficult one of the hardest songs to sing vocally. And there's just some songs that I feel males can scream and do in a way that a female vocalist couldn't do, and a lot of vocal teachers say this, and also vice versa. There's a lot of things that males can't sing that women can, so it's just different, but it's a good type of different, and I'm here to see how this will play out, and I'm supportive of it.
Nice. Well, yeah, like I said, I was not initially on board with Emily due to the fact that I don't think anybody could or should replace Chester. And that was until I first experienced the Emptiness Machine. I was instantly hooked, man, and I was made a fan. I thought, this is Linkin Park. And this is what I would imagine they would sound like if they were still making music today. I hear Chester's melodies in Emily's voice, which, you can actually find if you look on the good old TikTok. people use AI to see how Chester would sound singing the Emptiness Machine. And though I can't say I approve, I also can't say it sounds bad. Nor can I choose if I actually like it or not. But it's out there. And yes, I guess we've been dodging this a little bit. I know the controversies surrounding her, but all I could do when I listened to this album was just focus on the music and let that all fade away from the first time I heard that, let you cut me open just to watch me bleed.
Yeah, and for most of you listeners who, I doubt people haven't heard this already, we know about the whole Scientology background that she was born into. We know that, there was a lot of criticism because people were quick on every major forum, between Reddit to the LP Underground to anything out there, to really dig deep and put some dirt on her, because I don't think people were willing to accept the replacement for Chester right away. And, for me personally, listen, if I see and hear raw talent, I'm not going to say that's going to override anything that you've done in your past, but given the whole situation, and her public statements on social media, where it was a little message she posted out because she wanted to clear the air about a lot of things to fans and, being accepted in this band. As they don't know her very well, drtshow was not a very well-known band. She was well-networked with major artists, but for the most part, we didn't really know who she was. Mm-hmm. And she wanted to make it clear that she just attended a hearing to see, what Danny Masterson would say, and some of the stuff she heard wasn't what she suspected at all from what she was told from others. That's her story. I mean, she kept her little public statement ambiguous, probably PR team helped with that to make it kind of something like she's not saying anything that could be held against her, and that it would market well with the fan. And it was a very ambiguous message, but hey, listen, I think most of us have forgotten about it in the sense of we care about the music, we care what you do on stage and with Linkin Park. Whether you did this or not is, for the most part, their word over mine or yours, whatever. Cedric from the Mars Volta even said himself, him and his wife witnessed her a part of the whole mom mentality movement of getting a bit violent in the courtrooms. And it was only just months ago that she just unfollowed Danny Masterson off of Instagram. So I don't know how the fans are incredible. They're able to play detective work and figure all this out. But ultimately, no one can say for whatever reason she did this for malicious purposes. Maybe she just forgot. We got to give her the benefit of the doubt and move on. And we just got to accept this raw talent. But I still think that it could be refined. She needs more time with Linkin Park to make awesome productions. And I'm excited to see what they're going to produce further.
Me too, man. Me too. And I don't even see how you can really hate on her for the whole Scientology thing. I mean, people still like Tom Cruise, and she was born into it. So I don't see how you would try to, not necessarily cancel her, but I'm not listening to the new Linkin Park because she's a Scientologist.
That says a lot, because obviously the band would have had to take a step back and say, whoa, hold on. Is this a good idea? She's amazing, but how will this transpire with the fans? Will they accept her? I'm just excited to dive into it and start talking with the music. It's been good material so far. A lot of modern implemented styles between Colin and Emily and Alex. You can tell that this is it's Linkin Park signature, but still with the influence of what these people have brought to the table.
I think it sounds more Linkin Park than the last few Linkin Park albums, all the way back to Minutes to Midnight even, because you listen to these songs and they sound like old Linkin Park. They don't sound like the newer kind of softer synthier albums.
I agree with you to some degree, in the sense that I feel like the whole thematic of the album is definitely 25 years ago, alternative rap metal, new metal, roots still there, but it's incorporating modern sounds. If you're a fan of Paris or Hayley Williams of Paramore or Tonight Alive, Jenna McDougal, these girls have powerhouse voices, and they remind me so much of Emily herself. I'm pretty sure a lot of those fans will start flocking to Linkin Park's music after they hear her and what she has to offer for the band. But yeah, just mainly more closer resemblance to Hayley Williams. I just think that when it comes to screaming, and even at her age, in her late 30s, Emily is still packing a cannon, man.
Yes, though her scream does fare well, it does not compare with Chester's, no. Nah. If I could give any form of advice while listening to this album, and I know it's difficult, but try your very best to not just be constantly comparing her to him. He's irreplaceable. That's set in stone. But for the band to continue, this is how it had to be. Embrace her talent in songs like Casualty. We must remember, Chester was a replacement at first too. But if that don't sit well, do tell us, who do you think was a better option to fill Chester's shoes? Let us know in the comments. And while you're there, hit like and subscribe for more album reviews. I tried so hard and got so far to find faults in these songs, and I'm sure there are those who had an easier time at it than I, but truly, I vibed hard with the entire album. Every track, start to finish, and could not find a dip in the album, nor a song that I disliked. Not one. They're now all in my liked playlists, to which I have many. One of them, in fact, is made up and handpicked of all my favorite songs from artists I've had on the show in the past 15 years. Check out the link for it right there in the description. My fave songs were The Emptiness Machine, Cut the Bridge, Heavy as the Crown, and Two-Faced. Yes, I'll break my rule of 3 for Linkin Park. How about you, Kara?
Honestly, I have to say
Pick 3.
This is rare. This is rare because I often pick songs that are not singles. But for now, I have to stick with Two-Faced and Heavy as the Crown because it really showcases what to expect in the entirety of the album in those two songs. Like a table of contents, which you would generally have in the beginning of an album. Most albums that you listen to, they start off hard and well. They start with their best material because they want you to keep listening and give it a chance, right? And that's exactly what Mike did, and I can't say that he failed because I gave him a 7 out of 10. Like I said, my initial points is when you compare, this is obviously subjective to me, like I said, with the innovation and the technicality, but when you compare the old Linkin Park material to now, okay, yeah, there's definitely a lot of good bangers on this album. Definitely, arena-worthy, gonna get the crowd roaring. I can't say that as of right now that there's one single song in this album that will be amongst their best hits. But let's see how that pans out internationally. I feel that people will vouch for the Emptiness Machine like you.
From here, I just wanted to thank you, Kara, for being on the show, The Dr. T Show, and sharing your stoic thoughts on the newest from Linkin Park. And you, what were your favorite tracks off of From Zero? Let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for plenty more album and movie reviews, along with a gaggle of exclusive interviews on The Dr. T Show.